Third and goal. Fake to Montgomery. St. Brown. Touchdown.
Congratulations, everybody.
Hey, what's poppin'? We're live in the DealsND.com studios. Following the Lions' victory at Ford Field. Got a lot going on today, too. The first ever concert at the Big House was last night. Zach Bryan, Gary Graff was on site, so we'll find out. I'm reading about all the records they set. The biggest concert ticketed attendance at a U.S. venue. I guess this doesn't include festivals. It's got to be for a single act, I suppose.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I know the record was something at the University of Texas, wasn't it? George Strait or whatever?
George Strait. Grateful Dead, I think, were the previous record holders. But they had 112,500, and they set a record. They sold $5 million of merchandise.
Grateful Dead did.
No. Zach Bryan did last night.
Jeez. How much? Say that again?
$5 million.
How much were shirts? $500,000.
That means each of the 100,000 people spent $50 on merch.
That's about right.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
I know,
What do you get? A T-shirt and a pin?
I would like to know how long. I would like to know how long the merch lines were. Gary Graff can fill in a lot of blanks here because there's so much to know. Traffic. I mean, there's a lot of people that aren't used to going to events at the Big House, so there's a lot of foolishness, not knowing where you're going. Just park somewhere.
Oh, what a nightmare that must have been.
I'm assuming it was.
You got to figure 100,000 of those people had never been there before, right?
Well,
or a good amount of people.
I'm sure some of them are football fans, but not most of them.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to hear from Gary. I did notice that the accounts of the concert did mention long lines, lots of traffic, long lines and traffic. It just sounded like an exhausting night. Yeah, I'm sure the concert was great. Probably a young audience. They probably didn't mind that much, but we'll see what Gary has to say. We're going to be on YouTube live in a minute or so, or are we live on YouTube? We are. Okay. I lost track of the counter there. Hall Financial is our sponsor. You know the name, our longtime partner. A lot of you work with them. They're your one-stop shop to get your new home or refi. Rates are down. Hall has VIP pricing for you. It just makes sense. Last week, they helped a Metro Detroiter refinance and save over $500 on their mortgage payment, eliminate credit card debt, and skip 2 mortgage payments. They know you're from the podcast when you go to callhallfirst.com/Drew, and the red carpet treatment commences. Go to callhallfirst.com/Drew. And now let's find out about today's Lions game with Eli Zaret.
Go ahead, Eli.
All right. Yeah. No. Yes. Brought to you by Dr. Yaldo, of course. Well, they won 34-10. Really, in a way, in a sense, this game was over after the half when they led 20-7. The second half, the Lions really didn't do much until they got a punt return. And then near the end, when Hutchinson forced a fumble, slapping the ball out of Joe Flacco's hands, and they brought it in shortly after that. Amon St. Brown, another touchdown catch.
St. Brown.
Amon St. Brown. So it was It was a dominant performance, even though they did kind of slop through the way through most of the second half. Second half started, first series, an interception on a pass Goff should have never thrown to Jamo, who was pretty awful today. Dropped two passes that would have made a difference, cost him drives. So they go interception, punt, then they're stopped on 4th and 2 after another Jamo drop. Then Khalif Raymond returned a punt 65 yards.
What a great return that was, man. Woo.
Pretty much put it out of reach at that point.
It looked like they got lulled to sleep in that game in the middle. I got bored. It seemed like they were bored.
It seemed that way. The pass that Goff threw that was intercepted. Why? I mean, why would you do that when you're up 20-7, throw it 50 yards downfield and it wasn't even close to being completed?
I want to say something about long balls to Jamo. I feel like most long balls to Jamo just do not work out. For one reason or another.
I feel like he's underthrown. Don't you feel like he's underthrown?
Well, sometimes one ball was in his hands.
Yeah, he dropped one.
That's a tough.
And then
catch,
the first half, it was over the shoulder. You had to turn for it, but it's still, when a ball hits off both of your hands and you're not even outstretched, you're supposed to catch.
Well, there was another
ball.
When you get an extension, you're supposed to collect every ball that comes your way. Right?
There's another ball downfield that he wasn't looking at, and in the past, it seems like he doesn't adjust to a really long ball unless it's right to him. But I mean, I love him. Otherwise, if he's in the clear within 20 yards, it just seems like the long balls end up in interceptions too often.
Yeah, but the defense really won this one.
Hutch. I mean, Hutch was huge today.
But the Browns score in their first drive, 88 yards. They look great. everything they did worked out beautiful. Flacco's hitting receivers, and they're up 7-0. And after that, they got 3 points the rest of the game. The Lions defense dominated them. The stats are pretty good defensively. Hutch, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss.
He now has the most sacks by any Lion through its first 4 seasons, and he missed most of the season last year. That's insane.
I don't know if does that account? Does that include? He hasn't. Does that include
32 sacks,
come on,
4 seasons?
Who set the record?
Not
back
Doug
in the
English.
70s? No.
William Gay.
Well, no.
Or Shea.
No. He's the one who came up with the
Gay.
Come on.
What years?
Shit. 78 or 78, 79.
It's not William Gay.
It's not Doug English?
No. Come on. It's not Doug English.
Who else could it be?
He was on Shark Tank where he was
Now you're just
selling
confusing
meat.
us even
come
more.
On. Gosh. My memory is gone. Anyway,
What the hell are you
I'll
talking
think of it
about?
on the ride home.
All right,
Lions,
I'm gonna look up the
Lions
19
all-time sack leaders. Come on,
Bubba Baker?
Bubba Baker. Thank you, Bubba
Al
Baker.
Baker, yeah.
He had 21 year, but they didn't really keep official sack numbers until after that.
You're
And
right.
Then,
Yep.
but he had the record for a while. Bubba.
Isn't William Gay the single season record, but they didn't keep track?
No, he had a bunch. Again, he had 6 against Tampa one game, or 5 or 6 was the team record. I think he had 5 sacks against Tampa back in the late 70s.
I kind of think you're gay.
Anyway, Jack Campbell was terrific again today. And I know you all saw the story on Campbell following the lacerated tongue last week against Baltimore. It was a national story. Freebus did something on it, just how tough he is, the true embodiment of grit. And he had another great game today. DJ Reed, a great free agent acquisition they had, interception. Kirby hurt his knee on the DJ Reed interception, but he did come back and play in the games. There were no injuries that will cost the Lions from this one. So
That was a hell of a play.
yeah. So it was a defensive effort. Offensively, Amon had 7 for 70 and a couple of touchdowns, but Montgomery was pretty much bottled up, 9 for 12 yards. Gibbs did have a pretty good day rushing, but Cleveland does this well. I think they held the Lions to 260 yards, something like that. Nothing special, but like I say, with a 20-7 lead in their defense, it was never really in doubt.
In your face, Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, that's right.
He was talking shit too. He was saying that the Lions had never faced a defense like one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about Green Bay 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, they beat Green Bay. So, I mean, this is a nice victory.
Well, I just glanced at the TV. I'm so sorry I did that. Why is Paddock still in the game?
Why?
Is home field decided? I don't know it.
They got 100 pitches.
Don't you want to talk more football game?
Yeah, yes, go.
Well,
I'm not going to look at the TV anymore.
That's all right. They go to Cincinnati, or they host in Cincinnati. Or they go to Cincinnati or host Cincinnati next week. I'm not sure, but the Lions.
They're at the Bengals.
Yeah, they should beat the Bengals and move to 4-1. I thought, speaking of shooting your mouth off, this week, Baker Mayfield said, the Eagles are coming. They came down a day early to get used to the heat in Florida. The heat index was over 100 today.
Wow, they're really smart to do that.
Last I looked up, they were leading Baker and the Bucks by 31-13, but they wound up winning 34 to 31 or something like that.
31-25.
31-25. Other than that, nothing really to speak of. The Vikings lost to Pittsburgh and Dublin, and I believe that the Bears play tonight or play the late game this afternoon.
We're playing right now, yeah. How about the Vikings? Don't they play in London next week too? So they're just staying over there?
That I didn't know, really.
Yeah, I think they play 2 games back to back in Europe.
Well, it's not exactly the same place. Dublin,
That's
Dublin,
insanely stupid, isn't it?
You can drive there from.
And I haven't been to Europe.
Well, it's easier not to come home.
I know.
They're certainly far, far away for a long time.
I think they actually asked the NFL, like, hey, can we play these games back to back? Because they didn't want to have to go to Europe twice.
Well, that was really smart too. All these people are so smart.
Yeah.
It's funny that you bring up the Tiger thing, because we're all a little confused by that. There was obviously they made the playoffs. They clinched that Saturday night with another low scoring win, because they don't score runs. They did get a 3-run homer today from Javi Baez. This game is not over yet. It's in the 4th or 5th inning in Boston. They're going to either play. Of course, by the time tomorrow and on Monday, when people listen to this, they will already know. But just our edification here, they will either play they'll either play the
You sure you want to do this?
No, not really. But they're going to play the Toronto, the Yankees, or Cleveland. It's going to be one of the teams, probably on the road. But here's what's interesting about the wild card on the road. Last year on the road, 3 out of the 4 teams won road series.
Well, then why don't they play for who gets to play on the road?
No,
I don't understand. Today, Eli, my understanding was they're playing for home field today. They're starting Paddock, their worst pitcher, and Green is not starting. Torque is not starting, and somebody else wasn't starting.
Well, because they realize that they're not going to pitch Skubal today because they want to save him.
They have a day off tomorrow. Why are Green and Torque not playing? What, do we not want home field? Are we playing to be on the road? Why don't we just forfeit?
Well, Green and Torque have sucked lately. That may be
so
one
is everyone
reason.
in the lineup.
Yeah, but they didn't play Dingler. They're catching.
That's okay. I get that.
But they figure if Cleveland wins today, it doesn't matter what they do.
Okay, so just assume they're going to win.
They're going to assume Cleveland's
That's
going to win.
always safe to do.
Yeah, well, that's that. Other than that, what are you going to do besides Paddock? Who are you going to put out there? I
would have my best starters playing offensively because I would be wanting to win the game just in case if the crazy instance that Cleveland loses.
Yeah,
is Cleveland winning already? Maybe they're so far up.
They were losing.
They were.
Oh, see, could happen.
They're down 4-3 in the.
But if you want to be on the road, then by all means lose, but just forfeit.
Stop it! Knock it off.
If the Tigers lose to the Red Sox, they're the number 6 seed, and that could happen too. If they're the number 6 seed, then who do they play? Then they've got to play Cleveland at Cleveland.
Oh God!
3 games.
Boy.
That's not good. So the key today is if Cleveland can lose to Texas and they're down, the Tigers can win. Then they can be the 3rd seed, or the 4th seed, I should say. And no, they'd be the 3rd seed. They'd be the winner of the Central. And then they would have home field advantage. But I guess they're not counting on that happening. But it seems like Boston did the same thing too, because Boston really had nothing. I guess they had nothing to play for because Boston can't do any better than the 6th seed as it is. So they're already there. But you're right. The Tigers
I don't feel like I know
something to play
anything
for.
more than when you started.
Okay. if Cleveland loses and the Tigers win,
don't do it again.
They
no less.
are the Central champions. Makes a big difference. Then they got home field advantage, and they would host Boston in the first round.
Don't do that.
So let's just let it
Go back to
play
football,
out,
please.
But why they're pitching Chris Paddock is because that's really all they have. They hope to get 5 or 6 innings out of him.
He's already out. They already yanked him
after you get the 4 runs. So who'd they bring in next? Is it Melton in there now?
Seawall, Paul Seawall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one of those guys they were auditioning for the bullpen a couple weeks ago. Got bombed.
There's just no way that they're going to advance very far in these playoffs anyway. They just don't have the pitching. And you could really tell this week. Remember when they lost the opener in Boston Friday night when Chapman is blowing away the Tigers with 102 mile an hour fastballs while Tommy Kahnle is throwing his 86 mile an hour sinkers and gave up the winning run. What's funny about the whole Tiger thing is when the season started, they were predicted by the variety of experts to finish 83-79. And what did they finish? 87 wins.
87.
Pretty much what was
wins.
It's just the way it happened. I thought
they
strangely, but
I think I said 85 wins because they didn't do well in the offseason. They just didn't make any exciting acquisitions. I mean, they got
Glaber, and they got Flaherty.
Yeah, but Glaber's a 260 hitter. It's 15 home runs. I mean, I like Glaber. I really do. I think he's more valuable than I thought he was.
Yeah.
But I just felt like they need a 300 hitter. They need a right-handed bat that is threatening. When you look at that right-handed lineup against lefties, sometimes on certain days you can go, oh my God, how are we going to score a run? I mean, Jones has been hitting his ass off. Nobody expected that.
No, if it's too soon to write the epitaph, but if we have to write the epitaph after the first round, it's obvious they don't have the pitching, starting or relief pitching, to win the World Series. They were snake bit because they lost Reese Olson and Jackson Jobe, who was a Rookie of the Year to be was projected as that. But all year long, and I was a victim of too. You just seem like their coaches were just spinning straw into gold. They're making Javi Baez is playing again, and Torque is playing again. He was finished in the minors last year. And so it seemed like they had the coaching that was just going to make this happen. They're bringing up these minor league pitchers, the Brant Hurters and the Chase Lees, and they're getting big league pitchers out, and then big league hitters out, I should say. But then at the trade deadline, if there's any villain, it's got to be Scott Harris, because he played the smartest man in the room. He said, we're just going to go after volume. We're very pleased with our team. We're building our core. And he said, some of the prices were really high for short-term rental relievers. He said, a better approach for us to attack it with volume. And that word volume will haunt him depending on how this thing ends.
It was the most arrogant thing. I mean, he honestly suggested that some of these guys, once we get to our coaches, we can turn some of these guys around. Who knows? Maybe one of the 6 or 7. Well, when you audition 5 or 6 shitty pitchers, you suffer what they do when they're out there on the mound.
Yeah, the volume was Charlie Morton, who has since cut 9 starts, 7.09 ERA. That was a failure. Sewald was pitching today. He only pitched 2.2 innings coming into today with a 6.75 ERA. They got him injured. Rafael Montero, they got from Atlanta, who had experience in the 21 World Series. He was supposed to provide, help in high leverage situations, but he's wild. They said they'd tame him. They didn't tame him. 20 innings pitched, 14 walks. Wednesday in Cleveland, 1 hit and 2 walks recorded, no outs. Finnegan has been okay. Not a closer, though. And then the other Paddock and Randy Dobnak, who didn't make it to the majors. Paddock until today, and it's even worse. They gave 4 runs in 4 innings. 43 innings, pitched 12 homers since he came here with a 6.12 ERA.
No, they made the team worse.
Yeah,
at the
it
trade
did.
deadline.
It did.
They picked up worse players than what they had.
Well, Drew, you
This
mentioned
team is a shambles.
you mentioned getting a 300 hitter. Do you know how many hitters in Major League Baseball have hit 300 or more?
I know there's there's 300 hitters this year.
7.
7.
Yeah.
7 batters are hitting 300 or better.
Yeah.
A
That's
290
insane.
hitter, a guy that hits 25 home runs. I mean, just somebody of they could use a couple veterans too. That's a young team. I mean, even Riley Green and Torkelson just passed 1,500 at bats this year. That's really that's the number where you're considered young veterans.
Yeah, we don't know how many will still develop into stars. Except for Riley Green, who, if he cuts down the strikeouts, could be a legitimate star. But the last volume. I want to finish with the last volume guy was Tanner Rainey. Entered the game against Atlanta a week ago. Walks 2, gives up 3 runs. His previous MLB outing, before the Tigers used him, he got 4 runs in a third of an inning for the Pirates. He was down in AAA with the Toledo. He had a 10.57 ERA with Pittsburgh. And here, this is who they bring up. This is who they're forced to pitch because there's nobody else.
You know, when someone's talking out of their ass, the Tigers were pitching out of their ass.
Gross.
They really were the
Yeah.
last couple of months.
Yeah.
I mean, let's try this guy. Who knows? Maybe he'll turn it around.
Now, as the other teams have flamethrowers in the 9th inning, we saw it with Boston. His last 2, Whitcomb before Chapman came in. He's amazing too. Cleveland's got 3 or 4 great relievers, including Clase, who's suspended for suspicion of gambling. They've still got more strikeout pitchers in the bullpen. And the guys they didn't get at the trade deadline, David Bednar, was the Tigers are going to get him with Pittsburgh. He's available. The Yankees got him, and he's been amazing. 8 saves on 11 chances, opposing batters, 319 OPS. They could have gotten Mason Miller, an elite reliever in the game, has been amazing. 16 scoreless
He's
innings.
under contract next year too.
Yeah, hitters batting 115 off him. The big one that they could have got from Minnesota, Joan Duran, one of the best of all, cost him a couple of prospects, but Philly desperately needed a closer, and they paid for it and got him. And there was a few others out there. So they went for volume, and they got their asses kicked on that. And we'll see how it plays out.
By the way, the 2 guys that Seattle picked up, Seattle was no better a team than we were before the trade deadline, but they picked up Naylor and Suarez, who've hit 20 home runs for Seattle since they picked them up. Average, not so great, but they've shown a lot of power. It helps.
Yep. I tell you.
So I think their off-season acquisitions. This team played so well at the end of last year, winning 33 out of 43 games. They deserved some support. They deserved a couple good free agents. They were worth spending money on, but they just have been cheap. And the same thing with the prospects. These prospects better win a World Series. I mean, they spend more time talking about their prospects than they do about the big league.
Got a
team.
great farm system.
How many times have we heard that?
Well, it is true. But Glaber, it's funny because Glaber's reputation, why the Yankees let him go, was he can be very, very hot and then just disappear. And he started here very, very hot, and he's disappeared. His OPS is well under the league average now. Baez is well under the league average, although he did it a 3-run homer today. And so the other free agent they got, besides Glaber, was Alex Cobb, who hasn't thrown a pitch all year long. So they did
risky signing.
They did poorly in free agency,
He can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Very poorly at the trade deadline also. I tell you though.
But I guess these prospects are better than all our young, better than Colt Keith, better than Torque, better than Carps, they must be better than all these guys if they won't dare part with them, or they would have nightmares.
It was just so hard to watch them lately. If they didn't make the playoffs,
Cleveland was horrible.
Just like
Atlanta was terrible.
That's why it was fun to watch them celebrate the other night.
The way
the season ended, and then they still celebrated.
They won 87 games. I mean, that's not a bad season.
What have you done lately?
Yeah.
Well, they're in the playoffs. Are you talking about college football, by the way?
Let me just finish with the Tigers. I'm so glad for their fans and for them that they at least made it in to the playoffs, because they were just drowning in this ineptitude. It's like they were in quicksand, and you just watched them, dead team walking as as they're sinking in the quicksand, and to escape a little bit. And they celebrated a little bit the other night when they won. But I was feeling bad for the Free Press too. The Free Press is touting this 125 years of Tiger baseball. What the roar of 125, the epic history. And Gene Myers, the sports editor, made a special note to his readers. Our book will be published right after the season. We don't want to leave out a World Series winner, or the Cy Young for Scooble, or performance for the ages. But if you order it now, you'll save 25%. I don't know how big this book will go over once it finally comes out.
Well, Scooble's performance at Cleveland was really the bottom as far as I was concerned. When your one star makes an error like that and then loses. I thought he lost his composure. I understand why he lost his composure, but he did lose his composure. I mean, how often does Scooble balk? How does he throw a wild pitch?
Well, that's after he hit the guy.
Yeah, he was shaking up.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a professional.
Yeah. It's
I understand, but
the other thing is they don't score any runs, and he obviously feels if I don't pitch a shutout or give up one run, I can't win this game. I don't have it all in front of me, but in the last
don't hike the ball between your legs for a 2-run error if you feel that way.
Well, if he'd 4 feet lower, it would have been a great play. That's when you don't practice a lot, I don't think. Long snappers.
No, he's a great pitcher, and he'll have another shot. First game of the playoffs.
You'll be able to see him all the way through the World Series since you got tickets, Drew.
That's
Congratulations.
right. That's right.
And they're going to lose him because there's no way. There's just no way that they're going to pay him $400 million. And maybe he doesn't want to come back after this. Maybe
there's no Scooble window though. That's what I heard from the GM. They're not worried about the losing Scooble.
They're not.
That's what he said. Somebody said, "What about the Scooble window as far as not picking up guys at the deadline?" He said, "We don't look at it as a Scooble window. Rely on one player."
I don't know. Does school even want to be here?
That's right.
I'm not sure, Mark. That's a great question.
Why not test the waters and see who's going to pay you a shitload of money?
We will.
I've never heard him. I've never once heard him say, "I'm dying to stay in Detroit," or "I'd love to stay." I've never heard him say that.
But even if he did, it doesn't really means he wants to. It's just playing the crowd.
Listen, he's going to sign a 10-year contract. That's a long time. So he wants to know with an organization that will do what they need to do to win, like the Phillies did, getting the top reliever, like the Yankees did, getting one of the top relievers, like Seattle did, getting guys that they need. And so if he looks, even if they pay him, who else are they going to pay? Now they're going to always say they were too poor to buy free agents. So yes, I think if there's anything that's a certainty before it is, it's that Scooble's not going to be here next year.
I don't think we'll ever see a Mike Yelich payroll again. Detroit had a huge payroll.
Yeah,
sure. In that stretch of seasons when they were really fucking good. No. But I think they're committed to being a low payroll team that just has a better farm system than everybody else.
We're a small market team.
And if a guy has a really great first 6 years or whatever, we're going to lose him. And they're going to let him go because they'll have more guys coming up. So they think. Yeah. I mean, if you can have a great farm system, which they've never really had, they do right now, and maybe they can keep it up and keep the prospects coming. But that's a tough way to do it.
They do have a little space because they're going to lose Torres. That's $15 million. They're don't have to pay Cobb again. That's another $15 million. They paid Charlie Morton, I think, $7 million to finish out his $15 million contract. So they do have some money. And if they don't get Scooble, They ought to be able to get prospects for him or an established starter
next year.
Actually, so next year established starter, and they'll have money left over to buy a couple of free agents. Maybe get a hitter. So they'll find a way to spin it regardless.
Does he win the Cy Young this year, or is it going to be Garrett Crochet? That's going to be a tight race.
I'm not sure Scuba will win it. He hasn't pitched as outstanding down the stretch as he was pitching before.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just counting him a little bit because they lost, I think, 4 of his last 6 starts, but I don't think it was his fault.
No, they don't score any runs.
Yeah, his numbers are good. Their ERAs, I think what's Crochet's ERA, Brandon?
Look it up right now.
I think his ERA is a little lower.
Really? Lower than 2.3 or whatever his is?
He's like 2.2 something, I think. Pretty good.
Oh, his ERA is 2.59.
Oh, okay. He's higher. Yeah, maybe he will. We'll see.
Want to talk college?
Yeah, it was great. Interesting. Great game Saturday night, man. That was exciting.
Friday night and Saturday. God, it was a great weekend.
Let me start by saying, how come it is none of us like James Franklin? What is about him?
He's a bad coach.
He's a loser.
Oh, he also covered up a rape in Vanderbilt. I mean, there is that, but I think that's kind of
he did what? He covered up.
He allegedly covered up a rape in Vanderbilt. Remember the rape case in Vanderbilt, and he had people came to him and said, "Yeah, this happened." And he's like, "No, it didn't." It's pretty well documented, but he was cleared. So
I was wondering.
I mean, these guys all seem to have something.
I know they really do. I think he's just a bad game coach. Great recruiter, terrible game coach.
He's a terrible game coach. I thought that Oregon actually, when they didn't call timeout with 1:47 left when Penn State was on their 10-yard line, I'm like, what are they doing? Why are they? They're going to score. Weird. Why are they letting the clock run out of 30 seconds? Mm-hmm. So then they just we'll go to overtime. We could have had one possession all to ourselves here, but we'll just go to overtime. I couldn't believe they did that, but they won anyway.
Yeah. So Franklin now he's 4-21 versus top 10 teams, and he's lost 15 straight in the Big Ten to top 10 teams.
I just expect him to lose if they're playing a ranked team. I expect them to lose.
That's basically what Penn State is.
Yeah, but
they just can't get over that hump.
They will in time because they, along with Michigan and Ohio State and Oregon, have got the money behind them. What's happened in these collectives is it started in 2021, and each school had 4 or 5 different ones. And what's happened, they realized you got to consolidate, just like Michigan consolidated around the Champions Club, which was one of many they had. And that's when Larry Ellison got involved, and they were stuffing the payroll. Oregon consolidated around Phil Knight, and they got they got at least 12 guys making $500,000 or more. And Penn State did the same thing. What was some of the
Sandusky Foundation?
No, they started with Success with Honor was one of their collectives, and the Lions Legacy Club was another, and they merged to become the Happy Valley United. And now they're functioning well enough to give him the team he wants. And a bunch of guys like Drew Aller, $3.1 million is what his rumored NIL is. They kept him. They kept their running backs.
He threw that terrible pick last night too.
Yeah, but he
boo!
At the very
Can we boo him now that they are making all this money?
Well, he brought him back. But he brought him back. They were down 17-3. That game looked over. By the way, it was the only bet I made, Mark.
And you won, right?
Yeah,
it seemed like a sucker bet, but I still.
No, I thought Oregon was going to beat them.
Well, so did I. Worked.
Anyway, so they're
win $600.
Michigan doesn't play Oregon. They don't play Penn State.
That's right.
They play Indiana.
No, they don't play Indiana.
What?
And they got Ohio.
They always play Indiana.
They got Ohio State at home, and Ohio State's struggling. They were barely beating Washington.
They'll be
last
fine.
night. Yeah.
They won 24-6. They'll be
Indiana
fine.
finally has a good team.
I know.
Yeah, they do.
Do they play Illinois or Northwestern this year?
I don't think they play Illinois. Oh, wait, you mean Indiana or Michigan?
No, Michigan.
Michigan.
They play Northwestern, but they're Northwestern's
I think Michigan plays Illinois, but they don't play the three that they don't play Indiana, Penn State, or Oregon, which is a big break.
Yeah,
Indiana squeaked by Iowa, very, very close. But at the very end, Fernando Mendoza, the Cal transfer, 5 touchdowns to my favorite Hoosier, Eli Zaret, scored a touchdown pass. He calls himself Elijah, but for Eli for short. So Indiana is really a surprise that Kurt Signetti has done an amazing job there. Illinois beat USC.
What a wild game.
What a wild game that was. Running back fumbles at the goal line. They could have gone up, but Illinois could have gone up by a bunch. and USC takes a touchdown to make it 32-21 with 2 minutes left, and Illinois wins it on a 41-yard field goal.
Wait, 32-21.
No, sorry.
32-31.
32-31. At 155 left, and Illinois win it on a field goal 34-32. And note now the fourth, it's so much pressure. Today, Arkansas fired their coach, Sam Pittman, after getting bombed by Notre Dame 56-13 last night. This is now 4 major college coaches fired early in the season. Mm-hmm. You got Pittman, Mike Gundy, who'd been at Oklahoma State for 21 years, but got clobbered, 63-3 or something.
He's been there a total of 35 years as a player and assistant coach.
Right. Let me tell you about having your coach fired in the middle of the season.
Your guy.
I turned my team, Virginia Tech, is reduced to playing on the CW now. Yeah. And I accidentally bumped into them on the CW. Actually, I got a tip from somebody. They're on the CW. Wow, really? So I go over there, and they're playing NC State. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be terrible. It's at Raleigh. And I'm noticing, wait, where's that guy? I go online, find out, oh, all these guys went into the portal because they fired Brent Pry, so you can go in the portal.
Yeah.
So they had a bunch of guys that went into the portal.
If your coach gets fired, 30-day portal opens up.
Wow.
So
UCLA had it, Oklahoma State's had it, and now Arkansas will have it.
But Terry and Stewart, who'd only carried the ball 11 times in 3 games, he's called the human bowling ball. He's a Bowling Green graduate. He started and he carried the ball 17 times for 154 yards. And I'm like, wow, this guy, I feel like he should have been starting all along. He was a badass. They won a 2-point game.
There he is running.
Yeah, that's his 85-yard run last night. This guy, so, they're not going anywhere, but it was exciting to see him win a close game, which they never won.
So when they contact you this week to send,
no, they have enough money. They've been writing these letters.
You proud Hokie?
Some of my teammates from college have actually been calling me the last couple of weeks, going, "Are you getting these letters? These we don't have any money." And I said, yeah, and we were joking about it. And so I thought, well, if they don't have any money, at least they got 70,000 showing up Saturday for Wake Forest, so they'll have some money.
Yeah. $3 a ticket they charged last week. So they fire Sam Pittman in Arkansas. They replace him with a former Arkansas coach, Bobby Petrino, who was fired in a scandal like 10 years ago.
But he's already coached Louisville since then, right?
I know, but he's back. Did you see the ending in speaking of Virginia, Charlottesville, Virginia?
Yes, that game was bananas. Such a great game.
The last a crazy game, eighth ranked Florida State forces an unranked Virginia to fumble in overtime, gets a late TD, but in the second TD, the very second that a 4th and 12 Florida State heave in the end zone was intercepted, it was like a human wave. Yeah. They just tore out of the stands and covered that field with people in seconds. If you got that, Brandon, show it to Drew if you haven't seen it. Virginia rushes the field after the game. Of course, they're fined $50,000 for your first rushing the field thing. There were some spectators were taken to the hospital, but none of the players were hurt. But it was like one of those video games, where you're attacking, the human wave comes at you. This was wild.
My brother went to Virginia, so he and I a couple weeks ago decided our teams are done. It's over. We don't have any money.
Virginia's pretty good.
They have a great offense.
Yeah.
They have a really good offense.
Here it is. Watch this. Catches it. It's over. Look at it. Watch this.
They're not even off the ground.
Wow. The players were still in the end zone and they just ran. It's amazing.
Is that old Scott Stadium still?
I had to look at that again. I couldn't believe
how. See how they have that hill in the end zone?
Yeah. So they had a head start.
At the end of the fourth quarter, they kept cutting to the crowd because they were just vacating the stands and going into the end zone area. So they could storm. I know, that's so awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, he and I both had just like, it's over. Fuck it. And then both teams won nice games this weekend. They beat Florida State and the Hokies. I don't think I would have expected them to beat NC State, even if they had their head coach and all their players that transferred.
What if all the wealthy alums like you refuse to send money? They're stuck in.
I just want to say this. I have sent them money over the years. I honestly have. When they wanted lights for the baseball stadium, I sent money. I sent a nice check, as a lot of my friends did. And it's just, I don't know, everybody's a little bit just cynical about the whole thing. Like, oh, really? We really need you to step up. We don't have any money.
Let the billionaires.
And I understand the ACC TV deal is really shitty. So, I mean, they're
with the
fucked.
CW.
They're fucked until like 2036 or something. It's like, don't tell the alumni they have to start paying. Telling alumni or fans that they have to pay the players is so absurd. Just from the idea is insane. I can't believe it flew the way it did.
Yeah.
But people are crazy about their colleges.
They certainly are.
And I love my college. I'm not crazy though.
Fans are crazy. 110,000 watch a country show outdoors last night. It's wild. Spent $5 million on merch. So it wouldn't be another week if the NCAA didn't lose yet another suit. And this was a very interesting one. Indiana safety Louis Moore had decided he was going to play this year, which was his 7th year of college football, because what's his name? The guy from
Pavia?
Diego Pavia.
Yeah. God, is he good, by the way?
Yeah. Well, he had sued that, you got to give us 5 years. You can't take away our 5th year for whatever.
Well, it's 5 years in Division 1A, and I think he played at an NAIA school for a couple of years. Same with the guy at Indiana. And like, those don't count. That's not part of the NCAA. Which is kind of smart argument.
Yeah, he was 3 years at a junior college, played 2 of them. Then he went to Indiana, where he played for 2 years. Then he transferred to Ole Miss, where he played in 2024. Entered the transfer portal thinking that he would win the suit because Pavia had. So he does. He wins it for his 6th year. So it's technically only his 4th year, because the junior years don't count, the junior college years. He could come back to next year for another one for his senior year or 8th of college football.
What the?
Well, he's not going to go pro.
Hey, by the way, I was thinking about Diego Pavia yesterday. Why did, Vanderbilt's not that big a program. Why did somebody not poach him from Vanderbilt for big bucks? Diego Pavia is a great quarterback.
Don't know. Maybe they're paying him there.
Does Vanderbilt have money like the rest of the SEC?
I would think so, yeah.
Really?
Private school.
Yeah. Wouldn't think they'd have Alabama money or LSU money.
Alabama does not have the money you think it does. I mean, they've sent out multiple letters to people, and their athletic director has been very public about how we don't have those big, rich alumni donors. We just don't have it. We have a lot of little donors.
How embarrassing is these schools that, have 20, 30, 40,000 students, and they don't have any money for their sports teams, which have, 80, 90,000 in the stadium every week, and they're begging people for money. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well,
Alabama,
they do support.
They don't sell any merch.
They have to spend it, yeah.
Why does Harvard and all these schools with $50 billion
they sit on it?
They
ask their alumni for money
every year, more money. You never have enough. So I don't know who this Heather
it's a grift.
Who's this Heather McMahon? She's a comedian. She's been in a couple of movies. This is a 2021 rom-com entitled Love Hard. That sounds like an XXX Love Hard. But she was the announcer for the Ryder Cup, and yesterday, introducing the players, she orchestrates an expletive laced booing of Rory McIlroy, and she's booted out of the Ryder Cup. I thought the behavior there was
MC at the tee off, I think.
Yeah. I just
that's Jeff Daniels' wife, by the way.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
Is that the Jeff Daniels?
Yeah. They married in 2020, apparently.
Oh my God. How old is she?
She's 38.
38.
Oh, because Jeff is close to
Jeff
70.
That's a little trade up there.
It's not Jeff's first wife, is it?
No.
Oh.
He's got kids.
Yeah.
Wow. That's why. Well, Rory McIlroy was telling the fans to shut the fuck up when he was trying to putt.
The rudeness is just that's New York. That's the reputation. Anyway,
hey Eli, is the Ryder Cup as big as everybody tells me it is? Like, I don't understand it. Why is it so huge?
It's got history. It's been around since the 20s.
The pageantry, the international element.
So is this on the level of like America's Cup, the yachting thing?
I think it's the number one.
So it's an elitist thing.
What's that Ted Turner boat thing he used to do?
It's just like that. America's Cup
with Dennis Conner.
Dennis
Conner, was that the guy that always won it?
Yeah, Dennis Conner. That's right. It was certainly
a lot of international pride.
Everybody just keeps acting like the Ryder Cup is the greatest sporting event ever, and it's very important. I'm like,
it's still golf.
It's important to golf.
I couldn't tell you anything about it.
If you don't care about golf,
But why is it important? It's not one of the grand.
Well, you root for your country.
It's a traditional thing where and you do have the best 25 players in the world.
So is this bigger than like the Olympics?
The Olympics golf, much bigger than the Olympics golf. And
there's Olympics golf. I didn't even know there was Olympics golf.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, in fact, Justin Rose.
Has there always been?
No, just in the last 2 Olympics. I think Shoffley won the gold, and I think Justin Rose won the gold.
Can't believe you know that.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised you know that. That's great.
Anyway, yeah, the Euros are a much better team, and they're finishing up an absolute rout of the U.S., but you guys don't care, so I won't talk about it anymore. I thought a very hard.
I don't care. I just don't understand it.
Well, it's if you love golf, it's an international competition where the U.S. takes on the rest of all of Europe. It's kind of neat, and it's a lot of history there. But if you don't like golf, then it means nothing. In fact, what do soccer fan? What do Americans care about soccer except for the World Cup?
Yeah.
And if the U.S. is in it, they don't even watch.
Boring.
Anyway, with all the wildness of balls hit into the stands, the lawsuits over the Ohtani ball and the Philly Karen intimidating the father who shrunk in fear a few weeks ago for just a regular baseball. Now, what happened was Cal Raleigh, did you see this? Right? He hits the 60th. Guy catches the ball, gives it to a fan, a boy sitting nearby, gives him the ball.
Really?
Yeah. And
was he grooming him?
No,
he didn't want to be the next Phillies Karen.
The boy was there with his dad. And then let
me guess. The boy sold the ball for a lot of money.
No, it's a heartwarming story. His name was Marcus Ruello, sitting nearby. His dad said, he whispered to me and said, "Dad, because it's Cal," meaning Raleigh, "I want him to have the ball." He said he was never thinking about keeping it for the money.
He gave up millions.
Well, at least it's guessed by Golden Auctions to be worth about $250,000.
He regifted the ball.
He regifted the ball. They authenticated, traded for a bat signed by Raleigh. He was invited to attend batting practice for a future game. His dad says it was a complete, gracious, sincere, random act of kindness. He said to his son, "No matter what happens, you should pay it forward later in life." He said it was beautiful and heartwarming. And the guy who gave him the ball, they found him, a guy named Driscoll, and brought him down on the field and gave him a bunch of stuff. So
they still made out by far.
Who did?
The Cal Raleigh, made out by millions.
Yeah, because those balls, I mean, the Ohtani ball,
but it's
$400 million.
Story. That poor kid. I mean, he's going to get corrupted and realize he made a big mistake.
Well, I guess, but I think it goes to what you're saying earlier about just the passion people have, that they go wild over.
I'm amazed I'm amazed the adult gave the ball to a kid. I mean, you should.
Yeah,
but I'm just surprised.
Especially, I mean, it's a regular ball in a game. Most guys, if they have any class at all, will give the ball to a kid. This was a 60th home run ball that certainly has value. It's a record-setting ball. But there was a
Pujols milestone at Comerica a few years ago, and the guy did not give the ball right away. And I think didn't the Tigers play hardball with him?
Yeah.
We talked. He was like, "Fuck you."
Everything. Yeah. The kid who won the 20-year-old who corralled Judge's 60th homer back in 22 gave it to Judge after the game. But he went on to hit 62 home runs, and that one sold for $1.5 million. That ball, it was Ohtani's 50th home run ball.
So those balls hold their value?
I guess so. All this memorabilia just goes up and up and up. And lastly, I don't know how many of you guys remember Ray Lane.
Oh, love Ray.
But
let's get it up.
I couldn't find it. We don't have it anymore.
We don't have that.
No,
are you kidding me?
Such a great piece of audio.
Ray, my favorite memory of Ray is Ray interviewing Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers during a playoff game. And Chad, I think, asked him, "So what's your favorite song of ours?"
Oh, geez.
He was just fucking with Ray, and Ray knew he was fucking with him. They were laughing. It was funny. He was a sweet guy.
When I started my career, I was up against him. I was up against Channel 4 was up against Dave Dials at Channel 7, and Fred McLeod at Channel 2, who replaced Ray Lane in 1982. But he did it all, man. He did the Tiger broadcast back in the 60s. He was a long, meritorious career in broadcasting, and very sad to see him go. Although he was 95, had a very good life,
long
career.
He did Tiger play-by-play. Did he do the Lions games at one point?
He did. Yeah.
Yep. He did Michigan State. He did Michigan at some point, and then when the great Van Patrick retired in 1972, Ray left the Tiger gig to take over as sports director at Channel 2, which I
missed all that. I just knew him at UPN. He was at UPN 50 for a good while.
Yeah,
but he was just a super nice guy.
I keep on thinking how long ago that was, but I started a Channel 2 in 88, so that wasn't 16 years after Ray joined there. But anyway, enough about that. Would you like me to finally go over what the playoff possibilities are for the Tigers? Can we review that one more time? If they finish, if they lose,
I'm not going to remember it. The game will be over in any.
I had it written in front of me and I couldn't remember it. Anyway, this is the time of year for sports fans, postseason baseball with the Tigers and then the Lions with Super Bowl hopes. Lots to see and enjoy, and those who have seen Dr. Yaldo and dumped their glasses, contacts, and readers to see 2020 or better can enjoy every pitch, pass, or punt in living HD. Yaldo served up a stunning 2015 vision to virtually all of his custom LASIK patients. His bifocal lens implants lead the league in every department. No more reading glasses and brilliant far vision like few will ever enjoy with their aging natural lenses. Both these procedures not only safe as in all of medicine, they also take just minutes, are pain-free, and get you back to work, the ballpark, or plunked in front of the TV the next day. Do what hundreds of Drew's listeners have done. Go to YaldoEyeCenter.com. Get your free, no-strings-attached evaluation.
Hey, get out of here.
Tigers still losing.
Are they?
So is Cleveland. Still the same. Nothing changes. Hey, listeners, Lighthouse Exteriors is a limited time deal that you do not want to miss all month long. If you get an estimate for a concrete project that's 400 square feet or more, they're going to throw in sealant for free. That's right, for free. It's at least a $500 value, and you're going to get it for free. And if you sign up for a siding project, they're going to take 10% off the whole project. That could save you thousands. But don't wait. Our Michigan weather is going to change. It always does. So get your project on the schedule before it's too cold out there. Call 248-629-9260 today, or go to lighthouseexteriors.com. That's 248-629-9260.